The wind was slicing through the empty parking lot like tiny knives when Emily Carter, the blind daughter of one of the wealthiest businessmen in the city, realized something terrifying. Her driver wasn't coming back. "Marcus?" she called out again, shivering as the temperature dropped below freezing. But the only reply was the echo of her own trembling voice. Emily hugged her thin sweater tighter around herself. She wasn't dressed for this weather. She had trusted her driver, like always, but the night of Broken Bar he'd stepped out to take a call and simply never returned. She was blind, alone, and freezing. That's when she heard footsteps crunching through the snow. "Are you okay?" a deep but gentle voice asked. Emily turned toward the sound, tightening her grip on her cane. "Yeah, I think I'm lost. My driver left and I can't see anything." There was a brief pause. Broken Bar, then the man spoke softly. "I'm Jake. Don't worry, I'm right here." The unexpected stranger. Jake was a struggling single father, working 2 jobs to keep his little boy, Noah, fed and warm. He had just finished his late-night shift when he spotted Emily standing alone by the bus stop, shaking uncontrollably. He noticed she wasn't wearing a coat. "Are you freezing?" he asked. Emily tried to lie, tried to say she was funny, but her voice cracked. "A little," she whispered, without hesitation. Jake unzipped his only winter jacket. It was old, worn at the sleeves, but warm. "Here," he said, draping it gently around her shoulders. "You need this more than I do." Emily could feel the residual warmth of his body inside the coat. "You'll freeze," she protested. "I've been through worse." Jake chuckled softly. "I'm a dad. Dads survive anything." There was something in his voice, honesty, humanity, something Emily didn't hear often in her world of polished lies and empty compliments. "I'll walk through the cold." Emily explained her situation. Jake offered to walk her home, not knowing that home was a mansion sitting on 5 acres of gated property. As they walked through icy sidewalks and sharp winds, Jake guided her carefully, describing every step, every patch of ice, every turn. His voice was calming, a Broken Bar steady, a Broken Bar protective. For Emily, who'd lived her life surrounded by people who pretended to care because of her father's wealth, this kindness felt shockingly pure. "You're very patient," she said at one point. Jake laughed. "I've got a 7-year-old boy who thinks puddles are portals to another dimension. Patience is kinda my superpower." Emily smiled, really smiled for the first time that day. The twist. When they finally reached her neighborhood, Jake stopped dead in his tracks. The place looked like a fairy tale castle. Massive iron gates, white marble pillars, endless lights. "You live a Broken Bar here?" he asked, stunned. Emily nodded. "My father is Daniel Carter." Jake swallowed hard. Everyone in the city knew that name. Suddenly, he felt embarrassed at his torn gloves, his cold hands, his worn-out shoes. He wondered if he should have acted more professional, more careful, a Broken Bar, more something. "You okay?" she asked, sensing the shift. Yeah, he said quickly. "Just never walked someone home to a castle before." Emily laughed softly. "It's just a house, Jake." "No," he whispered. "It's a whole different world." That's when the mansion gates burst open and security came rushing toward them. "Miss Carter, we've been searching everywhere." Emily stepped forward confidently. "Stop. He helped me. Because of him, I'm safe." The guards hesitated. Emily lifted her chin. "He's coming inside." The emotional climax. Inside the warm mansion, Emily heard her father's panicked footsteps rushing down the marble staircase. "Emily!" Daniel Carter cried, embracing her so tightly she could barely breathe. "I thought something happened to you." "I'm okay, Dad," she whispered. Because of him. Jake stood awkwardly near the doorway, unsure if he should step back or disappear entirely. When Daniel finally noticed him, he braced himself for judgment. But instead, Daniel walked toward him, a Broken Bar slowly. "You helped my daughter?" Jake nodded. "Anyone would have. She was freezing. I just did what anyone with a heart would do." Daniel shook his head. "No," he said quietly. "Most people wouldn't, especially when there was nothing to gain." He noticed Jake's thin shirt, his shivering hands, and Emily wearing Jake's oversized jacket. That image alone told him everything. Daniel extended his hand. "Thank you, a Broken Bar, for saving my child." Jake took the handshake, still unsure if this was real. The unthinkable offer. Emily, still wearing his jacket, spoke up. "Dad?" Jake didn't have a coat. "Can we broken bar help him and his son?" Daniel looked at Jake. "What do you do for work?" "Anything I can," Jake admitted. "Night shifts, cleaning, delivery as a broken bar, whatever keeps us going." Daniel nodded slowly. "How about a real job? Stable hours, good pay, benefits for you and your boy?" Jake froze. "Yeah, broken bar." "I don't know what to say." "Say yes," Emily whispered with a smile. Jake's eyes filled with tears he tried desperately to hide. His entire life had been a battle, and now because of one act of kindness everything was about to change. A new beginning. 2 weeks later, Jake stood in front of the Carter mansion again, but this time with warm gloves, new boots, and his son Noah holding his hand. Emily opened the door, her face lighting up. "Noah, guess what?" she said, kneeling down. "Your dad is the bravest person I know." Noah grinned proudly. "I know. He saved you." Emily's smile softened. "He sure did." Jake looked at Emily, grateful beyond words. Sometimes life changes with a decision, sometimes it changes with the miracle, and sometimes as a broken bar it changes when a poor single dad gives the only coat he owns to a stranger and the cold,